trying to create a first really rough training, just threw some stuff together, if you will. But the Mindflash looks really, it looks like it's going to do exactly what we want to do. I need to see how it integrates with the Salesforce. I think that's
perfect.
What y'all going to show me. So
perfect. So just before we jump into that, Robert, so what will happen is that you guys will be on force.com, which is our base platform. With that platform, we have lots of applications that you're probably familiar with. One is our Sales Cloud, which is our full-blown CRM tool, which Jim has used in prior places. Another one is Service. You guys are currently using part of our Service application, which is desk.com.
Yep.
We have a whole marketing platform, all that stuff. So as you guys, changes need and you want to, like Jim talked about adding CRM later, literally all we do is upgrade your licenses to a different license type, and those features and functionality comes on. So what's great is you don't have to worry about redoing implementations and stuff. As you grow your needs on the Salesforce platform, you can just add stuff on. Mindflash being a third party, we have thousands of third party apps. You guys have a training need, if your HR team might have an HR need someday, you have different business groups that might need something. We have, like you have your iPhone, we have an entire enterprise third party group that's building tons of applications that you can just around contacts and stuff that'll start to get your salespeople familiar with using Salesforce, using this training application. I'll have Evan show you some of the functionality and features once we get through the Mindflash presentation. Okay? Or Evan, just call it out as we go through it, if that's all right.
Yeah, we'll do.
Cool.
And then,
all right, Robert, take us away.
Yeah, sounds good.
Will do. And do you have any interest in, actually I was going to say recording it, but you're already doing that, it looks like here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm recording this, so if Robert wants to send it out to anybody for next week, he'll have it.
Sounds good. And you're seeing a screen with my website and some logos here?
yeah, I got 8 logos.
Okay. That's our 8 customers. You'll be our 9th. No. So, Chris, thanks for taking the time, and I'm glad you had a chance to do a little bit of homework here on the product. What I want to do today is really just what types of material you can use in your training, show you a sample course quickly of what types of things you can do, and then how you can track it, integrate with Salesforce, build courses, all of that stuff. So if I do it right here, we should be done in about 30 minutes. And that's the general progression that I will go through. So if you're thinking about some questions, just keep that in mind. I'll probably tackle them as we go along.
All right.
Now, we have a lot of different ways that our customers use the product, from Apple training its Street View team to Uber onboarding their drivers on mobile phones. So there's a lot of different ways that our customers deliver training. We do it on any device. We make it easy for trainees to quickly and simply find courses and go through them and learn things so that you're not in a position of teaching them how to use our software. So if I've done my job today, that'll come across clear as day. These all are brands that put a premium on user experience. So we try to do the same and constantly adapt our product to do so. Are you looking at a screen here that says content types supported?
Yes, sir.
So you'll hear me refer to courses several times today in our conversation. Courses more Mindflash vernacular for single training unit. Another word for it with that is that this can be or can be a combination of these elements. I prepared an example for you that includes PowerPoint as the foundation, but I added some video plus tests, but also break up your training so it's not all one-sided. You can get your audience engaged in it as well. In looking at these bullet points here, are these the things that you're training with today or that you think you might use when you're putting together some of your training courses?
Yeah, I mean, between PowerPoint, PDF, and video, I think that I don't know what else I would ask for. I mean, that's going to cover us across the board, I think. So.
Okay. As it does for a majority of the folks who do training with Mindflash, you can do some pretty good things with the combination of those elements. So this is what a trainee would see. Now I could be just thinking probably on a, so what we're looking at here would essentially be the same but scaled out for different devices. I'm going to mute the audio here just so we can continue to chat. But there's a couple things I'm going to point out. Now this isn't the prettiest course in the world, but what it will do is illustrate some options that you have as a trainer. Now point static is your then, but what I did is uploaded it into Mindflash and recorded some audio components to it. So I can replicate the process of me being able to deliver this live or in a webinar type setting.
Okay.
Taking that a step further, if you have the ability to add them, not only can you build out a slide type experience. If you don't have it, it's easy to add those sorts of things, but it pays dividends in the courses as well. Now, as a trainee, all I'm doing is stepping through. When a course is done, you see it's preventing me from here with the arrow until I've listened to the entire audio. So if you want to make sure that they're watching your training in full, you can do that as well. Add an arrow, but it's simple. I can go backwards if I want to click an arrow. There's not much from a training perspective that trainees will need. And this here is an illustration of Mindflash working on different devices, including iPhone, Android, Mac, Windows, all in the browser. No application installing required. As a trainer, you do the same. All of your training will be built inside of the application there. Now, I've taken the approach of adding questions as we go along. Certainly, I guess maybe I'll ask you, will questions and assessments be a part of what you want to do in your trainings?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have a pretty wide variety of different types of things that you can do. This one here is an example of multiple choice. So familiar territory for you, I'm sure. But the idea is that I can add these questions as I'm going along. So I don't have to wait until the end. I don't have to have you sit through 20 minutes of 8 different topics before I start to ask you things. Mindflash is unique in the sense that it gives you the flexibility of asking them as you go along. So I can do bite-sized training, ask a couple questions, and then go on to more training modules. Now, this matching exercise, in this case, it brings a visual element to it. So you can ask things or questions that you wouldn't do otherwise with just a true-false or a matching exercise. So in this case, I try to talk and figure out how to do this at the same time. I think I got it right.
Don't know if most high schoolers could.
Well, I'm smarter than the average bear, so. So this one's fun. I mean, it's fun for the trainee in that they get to do some different things that they wouldn't otherwise, but you could include pictures of different products and things like that, have them match it up. Now, you'll see YouTube here. This is a YouTube video, so certainly this is a capability of the product. Some of my customers, like Zenefits, will use YouTube as a part of this. They'll incorporate TED Talks into their training, but if it doesn't have to be on YouTube. So if you recall, we offer, from a video perspective, most video file format types, including any webinar type training that you've done that you want inaccessible. So these types of things are all available. Again, it works on any device and scaled out appropriately. Another component is bandwidth, right? So if you have folks who are on their phones, we want to make sure that we are offering them an experience where it's not buffering and waiting for it to load. So we will automatically suggest them standard or high definition based off of their bandwidth that we do as a check. Normally, I have this board through it. I think the last time I went through this, I prevented myself from doing so. So we don't have to sit here for a couple minutes. But just as a, from an experience perspective, the ability to slide up here and find as I go along. So if I wanted to skip back and review certain things, I could. If I want to fast forward, I can also do that as well. But video, I think you said, was a component of what you use, more installation focused or product focused, Chris?
It's going to be some vehicle focused, it's going to be some product focused, and it's going to be some literally like electrical theory focus.
Okay. And these you have locally somewhere on, on a hard drive, or have you put those onto YouTube or some other place as well?
I mean, we've got some stuff on YouTube that I imagine that's how we would create.
Okay, good. Well, then we certainly can support you from that perspective. Now, I've gone through. Mine was just product specific, so taking you through Mindflash and showing you how to do certain things. So I want to ask some questions about those types of things. True, false is the third type of quiz. Very good. I get a lot. That said, when you get a question right or wrong, to choose all that apply, and of course is a pass-fail, sort of a certification thing. So I don't give my user another chance. I give them a 0. I show them the answers, and then I have them move on to the next question. But if your goal is, I want people to finish my courses, I want to be able to ask them questions, I want to track all that stuff, but I'm not so concerned with pass-fail or a certain score, then you can give them a second, a third, a fourth try, and then they can sort of get it going until they get it right. Or a combination of both. We can support you. Possibility of, instead of putting a bunch of images, of putting one and having you label it. So in my case, it's a screenshot of the software that we just did a training on. But for your use case, you could take a picture of anything, maybe an engine or certain installation areas, and then you can have them label them appropriately where they should be. If you have them, want them to do any
Status.
I've got course detail report.
Yeah, that's right. So is everybody seeing a question here of sequencing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So this is what I call a final exam, but the final type of question that we have. So in this case, you can, it's a sequencing. So put these things in the order 1, 2, 3, 4 with which you should do them. If you want to get some feedback from your team, maybe in a less leading format than my sales survey here, but if you wanted to get some feedback from the folks, how did you like this course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or other material you'd like to be trained on, you can run a survey here, put some options for them to choose from, or you can do more of a free text type survey option. Amazing. I did it again. I passed my course. You can choose to give them a certificate. Courses can also be grouped into what we call a series. So if you had somebody new at one of your dealerships or locations and you wanted to put them through, say, 3 or 4 courses, then what it would do is say, okay, you finished course 1 of 2 or 1 of 4, and it would prompt them to go into the next one. And then maybe you wait and give them a certificate at the end of it. If you have any handouts or data sheets or things like that that complement your course, you can provide them there. When I'm done with the course, it brings me back to your branded home sort of portal for that individual, and then they can come in and review the course that they took or other courses that they took. If you wanted them to access your catalog of information, they can do that here as well. So you can create different categories of types of training. And make it easy for them to having to build your own training portal. Pretty neat way to deliver this. My courses are things that you've sort of given them action items to invite. As we have an integration or built-in connection with it. And there's 2 sides to it typically. So the invitation side of things. So if I wanted to invite someone to the Mindflash overview course, for instance, then I can do so, add, and then select my trainees. Like Chris, is that your email, Chris?
That is.
I just added it as we were getting prepared here. And then I send an invitation. So a simple way for 15 minutes, it typically happens much faster than that. But you should get an invitation form at some point here. On the side of other things, as people are taking courses and going through it, then you can bring that information back to your Salesforce instance in the way of dashboards. So all I did was I knew who you were, so I invited you. And then as you take the courses, all that allow you to, with the combination of Salesforce, create that as John said, account contact relationship. So you can also segment your reporting based off of a specific dealership or location. So you can say, hey, and how many people are taking training, and then compare that with specific